Hi, I'm Fred McNeil, and you're watching QAC TV. It's another chance for one of our county commissioners to join us on Commissioner's Corner. Remember, this group of commissioners has made a commitment. They want to share information with you so they can make better decisions based on your input. I'm delighted to have with us today Jim Moran. Jim, thank you for coming out.
Glad to be here.
I'm not going to show people our summer attire.
That's right.
Below the counter are khaki shorts at summer. Okay. Now, Jim, you're full of all types of good events going on, and let's start off with the budget.
Okay.
People don't realize what a lot of people think you just show up at the budget here and say, all right, here we are.
Right.
Tell them what this whole process is.
Well, I mean, the process basically starts, I'd say, maybe 5-6 weeks ago. Starts with the county administrator going to all the different departments and asking them for their budgets. And he gives them direction. Basically tells them, look, you're going to be, like, for instance, the last 4 years, it's been a flatline budget.
Okay, so don't ask for an increase.
Don't ask for any increases, don't ask for any enhancements, no additional personnel, anything. This year, since the last 4 years has been like that, we've instructed him to ask for enhancements. What do we need to improve the services and what's going on in the county? So we ask for all those. So the county administrator goes to all the departments, gets that information, and presents it to us in a balanced budget. As you know, Jonathan Seaman gets us our revenues projections, and we want to get those.
He's the hammer, right? He tells you the reality.
That's right. He tells us exactly how much money we have to spend for next year, and he gets it together, and then Greg Todd gets us a balanced budget, presents it to the commissioners in a balanced, so the money coming in is money going out.
Okay.
Can't spend more than we have.
Right.
We like
You don't
to
have a credit card.
That's right. We want to run government like we run our households.
Okay.
So it starts at a balanced budget. From there, we proceed with weekly meetings, daily meetings with all the different departments.
So this is a lengthy process.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So all the departments come to us and they explain what their enhancements are, and the commissioners either agree to it or disagree. So we either add things, remove things, or say, yes, that's fine.
So you review all
Right.
the proposals.
And that goes through everything, including the school board and every one of the departments. And we are bringing on this year a good bit of enhancements for the first time in 4 years.
Now tell everybody what enhancements are.
Enhancements are anything from services that have been cut that we're bringing back to personnel that have been cut.
Good.
And as you know, during the crisis of 11 and 12, when we had the major reductions, we combined departments, put them all together.
Everything you could do to save money.
Everything we could do to save money, and so we didn't have to raise taxes. And we're now back to a position to where we can bring those services back out to their full operational capacity.
Okay.
And that's what we're trying to do. I mean, especially with parks, with DPW, and our seniors. As you know, and I'm going to put a plug in there for Kathy Willis. Has done an outstanding job.
We interviewed her. She's fantastic.
Oh, I'm
all
telling you.
heart for she's the best advocate you can
Queen
have.
Anne's County has some, and it's a real pleasure to be a commissioner here. I got to say that because our department heads do the most with the least, and we've been able to relax some of the things. And I'm not saying we're being, foolish with money, because that's not the case. But I'm going to use Kathy Willis's department for an example. She needs drivers. Our seniors, we have 10,000 seniors.
Yeah, we actually, and this is not anything against education, but we have more seniors in the county
That's
now,
right.
than we have school-age children.
Absolutely.
Is that correct? Okay, I'm
Probably
sorry.
about 3,000
Yeah,
more
okay.
seniors. And we've lost one of our senior centers, and we're using it for other things. But we have the other ones, and anything we can do to enhance them. Drivers, we're picking up 3 new drivers for her routes.
And the driver's important, because if I'm a senior at home and I want to get to one of your Zoom classes
That's
or recreation class, they will actually pick you up.
That's right.
That's a
And
great
get you to and from in some of these facilities.
Okay.
So these are the enhancements that we're bringing back. Parks, different parks, different swim lessons. We are going to be bringing on 10 new fields at the Davidson facility.
And we
on
need
Kent Island.
fields.
Right. I mean, that's a big.
Sure.
All the sports teams want fields. So, Davidson is one that's on the budget right now. And just so everybody knows, it's Monday, Tuesday night. Tomorrow night is when we're going to finalize the budget. So we've gone through. So getting back to that, so the commissioners go meet with all the different department heads. We look at all the enhancements, and including QAC TV, and we've added some things here, and because we love what's going on here and keeping the citizens informed. So we added things, removed things, got it to where we think it's a good, fair, and balanced budget for everybody.
And then you tomorrow night
And tomorrow night we're going to finalize it because we go through the hearings. So last week were the hearings, Monday night in Stevensville, Tuesday night here at the Liberty Building, and Wednesday night we were in Sudlersville. Take input from our
and
citizens.
basically you guys just sit there and listen.
That's right. It's basically just listening. It's not a questions and answer time. It's listening if anybody comes up with some ideas or some suggestions or comments, or maybe we didn't think of that or it wasn't ever presented to us. And we go through that. And now we've come back. We've had that time to digest some of those ideas and to rethink some of our decisions. And Tuesday afternoon, we will put pen to paper, make our final decisions, and we will have our budget for FY16.
You actually vote on it.
Actually vote on it Tuesday night.
So this is 100. I mean, it's 100 hours plus. I mean, this is a couple full work weeks if you added up all the.
Binder's about 3 inches thick times 5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 5 binders.
So the good news. What other enhancements do we have? Can
Well,
you share?
just for the sheriff's department has resource officers, doubling the resource officers. I think the parks has 4 new employees going to parks. DPW has 4 new employees. Okay. Speaking of DPW, roads, we're going to be now doing I want to say somewhere in the neighborhood of, if I'm not mistaken, over 50 miles.
A lot of miles.
Yeah, a lot of miles. We're going to get caught back up. Mr. Wilson has introduced that and got a plan together to where in the next 3 years we ought to be able to get caught back up on resurfacing all of our roads.
Maintenance of our roads.
Maintenance of our roads. So, that's another big one. All of our departments are fire departments. We got them all new pagers. Some of them were getting notified 2 and 3 minutes after some were and some weren't. So now they're all on an even playing field with our response time is critical for everybody.
Sure.
So there's a lot. Our upstairs finance, we got them they've been short for 3 years, so they've got another personnel in finance. So there's just. It's all on the website.
It's a good news. It's beginning to be the good news budgets again.
That's right.
At least this year.
And this is getting us back where this is manageable. This is not taking us in ballooning government to a point we can't afford this. Because we got to be looking out years to come, and this is what we need. It's not like this is half of what we need. This is what everybody has come to us and said. This is what we need.
Base level, right?
Right. To be comfortable, to be operational. And to do what we need to do for the county.
We did this without raising taxes.
That's exactly right.
Okay,
did this without raising taxes. And there's some projects on the horizon for revenue that look promising for the county. And as you know, our economic development was in here.
New director. And
it's in here. Tourism is coming on board. We're looking for a new director for tourism. So revenue projects, we are full force ahead with job creation, revenue creation for the county. So that's moving forward. I will say on some of our what I call nonprofits that have come to the county that we.
Now, these are nonprofit groups that come to the commission and say, "Hey, we need your help."
That's right, right. And Chester Y has always been one that we've always wanted to reach out to and help, and we're going to be getting them another bus this year.
Good.
To help them with their fleet. They do a tremendous job at Chester Y. The daycare center here. I mean, they're just some of these are small amounts. Hospice of Queen Anne's County, the Arts Council, Sudlersville Library. I mean, that small little library.
They needed some help.
They need some help, but they see a lot of people up there in the northern part of the county.
That's their library up there, right?
Oh, yeah, and it's some of the Chesapeake Bay Environmental Center, the grist mill. Needs the stones, so we're helping them.
You're buying them the stones.
We're helping them get the stones.
Stones are back. All right.
Chesapeake Cats and Dogs. We're helping them. So the Historical Society and the Clean Chesapeake Coalition. So these are all different things that we were able to fund and help these organizations out. And not to mention, don't forget our after school programs.
Right. Which got cut big time a couple years ago.
Correct, and it's up to $100,000. Okay. So we put that in. With Mike Clark, so that he'll be able to manage that. So we put over $100,000 in there, and then we understand there's a lot of programs in the county for backpacks for food for some of our kids that are just families are having a tough time.
The people at Symphony Village helping out,
right?
The Catholic Church and
so what we've done is and we know a lot of the churches are doing it. There's probably 7 of them that are doing this right now all on their own. God bless them and thank them very much. But there's some organizations that need a little help. So we've added an additional $25,000. Into our local management board, Mike Clark's going to run, for organizations that are doing those food backpacks.
Great.
If they can come, through our local management board and show that they need assistance.
You'll help them out?
That's right. We're going to help them out. We needed a sounding board, and our local management board does such, again, they don't take anything off the top. they're managing and helping us get the biggest bang for our buck,
Okay.
for our citizens.
Well, some good news then. It looks like Mike Clark, I know, is smiling.
Oh, yeah.
But good news that the county will be able to increase some of its services.
Absolutely.
And some of our nonprofits who needed help are coming,
Right.
which is great. Okay.
Yes, very
It's
good.
nice to hear
Yeah.
good news out
Right.
of government. We don't hear
Yes.
it all the time. All right.
Yeah.
Well, good. Now, this has to be by law June 30th. Is that when
Yes.
you by
Yes.
So, okay.
Yes.
But
So we always like to get ahead of the game
You're
because
ahead.
we want to send the letters out to everybody and make sure everybody knows. And on the capital side, I mean, there's a lot of programs. The courthouse. I don't have the capital list with me, but the courthouse we're putting I think $4 million towards in this budget. We're funding I think about almost $3.5 million towards the new radio systems for our emergency services. The new county building that's going up over across from the high school is in there, and some other
which is
projects.
progressing. Every time I go
Right.
out there, now they've got block laid.
Right,
I mean,
right.
I'm afraid in the midst of a week, the building might be done.
Right. I mean, we don't have. The commissioners removed the 2 synthetic fields from the 2 high schools, which I was for the synthetic fields, but I understand that, and I mean, hopefully next year maybe we can get those in there, but that's fine. I mean, it's the bond is at 16 million, and to me it's still a little high, so I'm not screaming and yelling.
Okay,
So
right.
maybe we can get that down a little more even, but that's fine.
Not everybody's going to be happy, but there's
Right.
an awful lot of good things coming out of
Absolutely,
this budget. We're
absolutely.
returning to probably where we should be
Right.
without raising taxes.
That's
right?
correct, and
that's-
especially on the operating side.
Great.
Operating side is very encouraging.
Okay, and you guys appreciate, I know you've said this off there, the citizen input.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's a little tough, but listening to people
Right.
with what they're interested in, and you guys did a good job of just listening.
That's
And
right.
that's important. Okay, I know you
Great.
appreciate their efforts. Well, let's move from the budget, if you're okay with that.
Sure.
Hey, one of the best events we had, it's on Channel 7 now, Not My Child, an event you had up in Sothersville. Tell
Right.
people about that.
Well, I mean that is an awareness program that I think that everybody in the county that has kids, and I don't care if they're 4 years old or they're 34 years old, needs to watch this. This is the first program that we did. Kathy Wright was a tremendous help with this. We had Sheriff Hoffman in there. We had
Warren Wright was there.
Warren
Yeah,
Wright,
yeah,
the
yeah.
state police was there. Lance Richardson. We had everybody that had anything to do, both on the enforcement side, on the
Educational
court side, the
yeah.
educational side, the health side. I mean, we had the health department there. Mr. Fry was there. So we had everybody there, and it was a panel that was there, and it was to help educate parents, kids, anybody that wanted to listen to what to look out for and where to get help in Queen Anne's County when it came to drug and alcohol problems.
And there is
in this.
right now, we know there's a heroin epidemic, right, all over the country.
You know,
Here.
and I don't. Epidemics are really a harsh word to use, and I kind of stay back from saying that. But there is, because you got to remember with heroin, it's not like alcohol, it's not like marijuana. It is a very, very addictive drug.
Sure.
I mean, it's a drug where you could take it once or twice
And ruin your life.
and ruin your life. I mean, some of the statistics show that less than 14% of individuals that take heroin ever are able to walk away from it.
So they're hooked.
They're
One
hooked.
time.
They end up in jail. They end up as a lifelong battle, where they end up dead. And it is going to become a huge strain on our resources, and our best efforts need to be placed on prevention. And that's what this was all about. And we had some very powerful people speaking that are recovering addicts, parents of kids who have gone down that path. And I want to just say thank you to them, because they were the ones that really said the message.
Yeah.
I mean, they were the ones that were talking
How bad this is.
how bad it is, but they're talking from parent to parent.
Okay.
I mean, you could sit there and, as I'm a parent, you can sit there and you can listen to counselors and you can listen to police officers, but when you start listening to other parents or kids tell of their stories, it hits home.
It's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing. And we're gonna meet and we're gonna perfect
You're gonna
this.
do this around
Well,
the county?
absolutely.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this. I would like to see this, and I've talked to Dr. Williamson because I'm the liaison to the school board. I would like to see this, and maybe in a smaller version, as a mandatory going into junior high, going into senior
Or
high.
the health curriculum could be
Correct.
fit right in the health education.
But make it mandatory for
Yeah.
parents and students.
Oh, get the parents.
Yes, I mean, because you get a disconnect there.
Yeah.
And, just get them there. I know it might be an inconvenience, but I think
It's your children's life.
Absolutely
Come
right.
on. Yeah.
Absolutely right. I mean, to hear what to look out for, to hear what some of the repercussions are, drinking. I mean, we hear it all the time that there's parties that go on where parents condone kids drinking in the house.
It's illegal, right?
It is illegal, and there's so many things financially that you'll be responsible for, and parents need to know this. And if we can get everybody in the room at the same time, there's ignorance is not a legal defense in this country. So we just want to be able to educate everybody and keep everybody safe.
And I've heard nothing but positive things, feedback from people who saw it on TV,
Right.
and that people
Right.
were there. Well, good. That's a great
Right.
program.
Well, and that's one of the things that that led into why we went with the lockdown on both our high
And
schools.
explain to everybody what happened. Yeah. It was last
So I
week.
mean, since I've been a commissioner, and this went back to last year, I've always asked, why aren't we searching our schools? Why aren't we trying to keep the drugs out of our schools? We hear parents tell us all the time, my God, there's drugs in our schools, there's drugs in our schools. So the question was always asked, why aren't we searching? And I've got a multitude of answers. And
we used to do it on a regular basis. Yeah.
So thank God, I am also the liaison to the Council of Governments, and I brought that question up to the Council of Governments. How can we do this? How can we do this? I got together with a couple people, and I said, how do we go about searching these schools? Got together, got some answers, sat down with the school board, made up a maintenance of understanding, memorandum of understanding, excuse me, an MOU of what's going to go down, how it's going to happen, who's responsible for what. We searched the schools, the lockers.
And we make sure everyone understands the kids can't leave the classroom.
That's correct.
Can't go to
The school
bathroom,
goes on
locked
lockdown.
down.
School starts, it goes on lockdown. All the students are in their classrooms, stays in their classrooms. We went with multiple dogs. We were very conscious of the fact that schools are there. The kids are there to learn. We don't want to be in there taking up the entire day.
Sure.
We were in there for, I think it was a little over an hour. We got in there. We went with multiple dogs, and we did both schools. Sheriff Hoffman took care of. He got some resources. He took care of Kent Island, and Chief Rhodes got resources and was a huge help in getting this off the ground. And he took care of Queen Anne High School.
The dogs just run the halls,
Runs the
sniffing and identifying.
That's right, and identifying the lockers. We did all the lockers. We did the entire parking lot, and we did not. I'll be honest with you, we did not stop when the teachers start cars.
Sure,
we did
sure.
everybody's
Everybody.
cars, and I think that's the right thing to do.
Sure.
So I mean, we searched both schools. We came up with honestly nothing. And
Good. That's the good news. That's the good news.
that is the good news. But we're not done. I mean, so now we have a system in place. We have a document that allow us now and allow the sheriff's department to go whenever they want to go.
Good. Unannounced and just
Unannounced, whenever they want to go, and that's what we're going to start using. And I would anticipate that these searches are going to be done now 2-3 times a year, and that's what we want.
Well, Jim, I can tell you as a former teacher and a vice principal, I liked it when they came in. 'Cause it sent the message to the kids.
That's
If
right.
you bring it here, you're going
Right.
to get caught.
Right.
And we're looking for it.
Right,
Yeah.
and I'll be honest with you, we want to go through the backpacks.
Sure.
We so that's going to be the next thing that we're going to target.
So we're
I mean, we understand. I mean, believe me, I mean, if you leave if you leave the cheese out, the mice will come. So
right.
we want to be able to cover every avenue.
Let's keep it out of the school.
That's right.
Keep it out of the school.
And that's the whole purpose. I mean, you want a drug-free environment. We don't want it being introduced in our schools.
Good.
And
Okay.
that's what that's there for.
And I think most parents and most teachers, and I can't speak for them, but as a former parent and a teacher, I'm glad you do it. It needs
We
to be
had
done.
no negative feedback whatsoever from anybody. So I want to thank, again, Chief Rhodes, Sheriff Hoffman for an outstanding professional job, and Dr. Williamson. I mean, she did a great job orchestrating this and, getting together with both principals. I think it was just the day before to let them know tomorrow morning we're coming. So,
we come.
yeah. So, I mean, it was went off without a hitch.
Very good. Hey, another positive thing we've done. Let's go back to April 22nd. You had your first kind of Queen Anne's County cleanup the same day the
Right.
whole world had Earth
Right.
Day. How'd it go?
It went good.
Okay.
And we
It was
have
fun while we were out there. It was fun.
we have a baseline now.
Yeah, sure.
And now my goal is next year to double it. And next year, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to somehow get the state involved.
Good.
I want to get the state involved because I had my guys cleaning up state
Sure.
roads because they were filthy, and the state does come along and clean everything.
Sure.
We just want to get them. Let's see how much trash we can get on Earth Day.
And the nice thing, this will grow.
Oh yeah, yeah. We want because like I said, we have a baseline, so now we have a challenge.
Yeah.
Let's get a challenge. Let's do some competition. Let's see how much we can get. The county spent about, I think it was like $3,300 or $3,400 between all the gloves and the bags.
And nice gloves. The people fighting. I was a senior, so people fighting for this gloves.
I mean, I was up at Sothersville, and the wind started to blow that afternoon, and all the 7th grade students were up there, and they were grabbing everything they could find out there in the park and on the roads there. So, and it was great to see the seniors out there. Sure. I mean, it was countywide. And like I said, I'm going to hopefully again get the schools more involved. I want to see if maybe we can make it a field trip event.
Maybe we can send with a half day. They can.
Well, maybe we can send a bus. If they maybe they can make it a field day event where a classroom or 2 classrooms go to each one of our parks and just cleans up the perimeter of our parks.
Be great.
And then they go back to school. A 2-hour event. I don't know. But we can discuss that and see if we can find a way to do it.
At least you took that first step, right? And we get more and more every year. 10 years from now, we'll need crowd control, right?
Right. I mean, we weighed everything, so we know exactly how much, the glass and recyclables and how much trash we got. So now let's see if we can improve on that.
Good. That was a fun event. That was great. Hey, a couple other things. There's a Civil War wreath lane Saturday.
Yes.
But I'm driving into town. I see all these guys in Civil War outfits. What was that all about?
That was a week ago last Saturday, and that was Mary Margaret, our county historian, did some research, and that was on the African Americans in the Civil War that pertained to here in Centerville.
Okay.
So, and it really went back to some that were actual slaves, some that were sold, which I never knew this, that some of these slaves were actually sold to the Union.
To become soldiers.
The Union bought them for their freedom, and they became soldiers.
Okay.
So there's a list. I believe there was 21 of them.
That was great outfits.
Yeah. They were from New York. They were a reenactment of a New York unit. So they came down, and they had a lot of history with them, and they talked about some of the things that went on. And it was a very interesting afternoon.
Well, like I say, I'm all of a sudden I'm driving home and I see this. I said, "We're invaded. What's going on?" It looked good. Yes. Hey, 2 other quick things here. The Ronald Reagan dinner you had. Tell us about that.
The Republican Central Committee does it every year. The Reagan Day dinner.
Everybody's invited, right?
Yep, Prospect Bay. It's a gathering of a lot of Republicans in there. So it was.
There were a lot in Queen Anne's County.
Yes, there is, and the room was filled. It was a great event, and Senator Hershey's wife was the Republican of the Year.
There's some nice pictures on
absolutely,
Facebook.
Yeah. She did a huge job for Governor Hogan, and she truly deserved it. And it was great that she got that, and it was great that the room was filled, and it was a good evening.
So the nice thing about being a commissioner, it's not all work, right? Some of it's just good
that's
fun,
right, right.
Fun.
And shout out to the young Republicans that were there, the high school Republicans. Cody Leach got the award.
Cody's Brigade, right?
That's right. So Cody got the Young and Upcoming Republican Award.
Okay.
So, that was nice.
Jim, how about the last thing? Father Jennings, a special event from him.
Father Jennings, we had a resolution for Father Jennings, and his last day here was Saturday.
Going to Ocean City?
He's going to Ocean City.
That's not a bad gig.
That's the ironic thing is he hates the beach and he hates seafood, and they sent him to Ocean City. And as you know, he was the chaplain here for the Sheriff's Department. Yeah, he did it all, and we read a proclamation for him that had somewhere in 900 baptisms, 900 First Communions.
It's kind of an institution.
Very much so, very much so. He built a new church there, and it's a matter of fact, it was millions of dollars. Now the mortgage is under $30,000.
Now you know why he's going to Ocean City. Relax a little bit. All right.
So he's going to be greatly missed, and I got to tell a couple stories and got a couple laughs out of people there.
He had a good time.
Yeah, it was a very nice job, and again he's going to be missed because he's a staple. He did the Fallen Heroes. Sure. And the bagpipes, the whole 9 yards. If you've never been there, it's a very moving, very touching ceremony, and hopefully we'll be able to continue that here in
Somebody
Queen Anne's
else
County.
will pick up the
Yes, let's hope so.
Well, here's the good news, I think, Jim, for you elected officials. When we get over the budget, you get over the budget season, then you get the parades, summer parades,
Right.
the carnivals. This is, I think, the best couple months coming up to
Right.
be a county commissioner.
Well, I hope so, and and less ties
Yes,
at our
okay.
meetings.
Yeah, that's
'cause
right. Okay.
It's just too daggone hot.
That's right. We can put our shorts in. Well, Jim, thank you and the other
Thank
commissioners.
you.
And good luck with your budget tomorrow night, okay?
Great, thank you very much.
Okay. I'm Fred McNeil. You've been watching Commissioner's Corner with Jim Moran. We gave you an insight into the budget, some very interesting programs going on, and there's a lot of good news coming out to your local government. Again, I'm Fred McNeil. My time's up. Thank you for your time. We're going to see you next time.